Coming up, the song Drift Away. It's by Uncle Kracker, whose friendship with Eminem didn't begin in their hometown of Detroit. It began with a coincidence thousands of miles from home.
Counting down the hits with Kasem.
I'm Kasem. Together, we're counting down America's biggest hits.
Number 24.
Rolling up 6 notches is Uncle Kracker with the first hit from Double Wide, an album that took a year to finish. Not because it was so difficult, but because Kid Rock produced it. Uncle Kracker says, quote, Kid Rock's got so much other stuff happening. He's doing remixes and movie soundtracks in between photo shoots and gigs and rehearsals. It probably really took only 3 months to make my record, only it was over the course of a whole year, unquote. Finally finished, here's Uncle Kracker with Follow Me.
You don't know. American Top 40.
We're playing them radio's 40 top hits of the week. Moving up 2 notches is Uncle Kracker with the only song from his album, No Stranger to Shame, that he says was a sure thing. Quote, I didn't have a game plan going into this record at all. There's only one song I knew we were gonna do. At number 21, here's Uncle Kracker and Dobie Gray with that song, Drift Away.
The hits from coast to coast.
American Top 40's heard in the 50 states and around the world every week on great radio stations like Kiss 108 FM, Boston's #1 hit music station, WXKS FM, Boston, Massachusetts, 101.5 CIL FM, today's hit music, WCIL, Carbondale, Illinois. Well, now we're up to the song Drift Away. It's by Uncle Kracker, whose friendship with Eminem didn't begin in their hometown of Detroit. It began with a coincidence thousands of miles from home. Uncle Kracker says that in Detroit there were 2 different musical circles. Quote, Marshall kept to his side. He was straight hip-hop and rap. Kid Rock and I were trying to do rock and roll. They were 2 different music scenes that never crossed paths. And then Uncle Kracker traveled with Kid Rock to Burbank, California. They went there to mix the album Devil Without a Cause. By a strange coincidence, at exactly the same time, Eminem was also in Burbank working on his album, the Slim Shady LP. On top of that, both camps were living in the Oakwood Apartments in Burbank. Uncle Kracker says, quote, we walked to the pool, and Marshall was walking down the hallway. It was like, hey, what are you doing here? Turned out they were both mixing their records in the same studio. Uncle Kracker says, quote, it was creepy. The kids from Detroit ended up mixing their records at the same time and at the same place. It was also the beginning of a firm friendship and the beginning of 2 hot careers, one of which lands Uncle Kracker at number 15 on AT40. Here's Drift Away featuring Dobie Gray. This week back in 2003, one of the top hits in the USA was Drift Away. It's by a singer who at first thought it was, quote, a song about nothing. When the idea of doing a remake of Drift Away first came up, Uncle Kracker says he didn't see the point. He says, quote, I didn't like the idea of it. I want to write music that makes people happy. I thought it was a song without a message. But his producer insisted the song would work. So Uncle Kracker tested it out at a few shows. Quote, I saw the reaction of people and I realized that it was making people happy. Now I'm thrilled with it. This week back in 2003, it was also one of the top hits in the USA. Drift Away by Uncle Kracker with Dobie Gray.
American Top 20.
I'm Kasem. Well, now we're up to an extra by Uncle Kracker, a musician who says he doesn't worry about getting every note right, because getting every note right isn't what matters. Uncle Kracker says it's something he learned during his years with Kid Rock. Quote, he didn't care if a note was right or not. He cared that it felt real. He taught me that being real is the power of rock. If you're not real, the audience will figure it out and you're finished. Uncle Kracker says in the studio, he'll often have a choice between a perfect take and an imperfect one. He'll go with the one that isn't quite right because it sounds more genuine to him. Quote, what I'm doing is getting back to good sounding music. Now, here's Uncle Kracker with a good sounding extra from 2003. He's joined by Dobie Gray on Drift Away.